How often do you actively show compassion? When faced with frustration, do you put yourself in their shoes? I have a confession to make. I don't do this all the time. And here's a really great example of that. About a month ago, my teammates and I were prepping for a virtual leadership conference where we were about to meet hundreds of members from across the state. We were pumped, and on the first day of the Zoom call, we got on and I immediately began looking for members from my home district. I was so excited to see them, say hi, and welcome them in. And I began to look, and I only saw 1 out of the 6 members from my home district. I began to get a little bit sad and a little bit frustrated, but I decided to wait until the next day to see if they jumped on tomorrow and if they had just some schedule conflicts. So the next day comes, still super excited, still super pumped to get on the call, and I look around to see if they're there, and there's still only 1 out of the 6 members. I decided this is kind of a problem as they were about to miss half of the training, so I decided to take it into my own hands. I called up my former district advisor and their now district advisor, Mr. C. Mr. C and I had been teammates for a while now, and I'd served on a team with him in the past. I called him up and I said, "Hey, Mr. C, we have a problem." He said, "All right, Jenna, what's up?" And I said, "Hey, I'm hosting this virtual leadership conference this week, and some members from my home district are not showing up on the call." He said, "Okay, to be honest, Jenna, I haven't been thinking about that this past week. I'm actually in service right now, training to be a teacher on a virtual platform." I said, "Oh my gosh, Mr. C, I didn't even realize, and I can't believe what you're going through. You have to go through that this year." For those of you that don't know, 2020 has been wacky and a little bit ridiculous, and everything is going virtual this year, even school. So I continue with the conversation with Mr. C and I say, "You know what, Mr. C, I didn't realize that." I had come to the realization that I was putting results, being the amount of people on the Zoom call and in this training, over my relationship with Mr. C and the teammates from my home district. I took a second to think about it, and I realized that I needed to show some compassion. This wasn't Mr. C's fault. He was training all week. I was putting these results over relationships, and I wasn't doing the best that I could to show some compassion. As teammates and as FFA members, have we ever done that before? I can say almost for certain that we have. Whether that's been on a team, on a CDE team, and we're trying to win this contest as much as we possibly can, and maybe a teammate drops their score that day. We've gotten frustrated at them, we really haven't understand why the effort wasn't there, but maybe it was really truly just a bad day for them. In that moment, if we've ever done that before, we were putting results over relationships. I realized that tasks are never too important to put those results over the relationships. This year, let's lead with some compassion and lead with humanity.